Hi guys, this is me, Denis Hagov, and our electrotransport store ussale.com. And today for a review I have a BEGODE Extreme. And really the most important part for the waiting such a wheel was to compare the existing one. Number one product for me personally is Liperkim Patton, and after the pattern was released and the mass production started, so BEGODE had, I think, in my opinion, BEGODE had a big impact here on the reputation, just because of they keep it, for the long term. They keep it the power as the main point of buying, BEGODE wheels, the power and speed here. So they, always say that yes, the wheels are not perfect, but most powerful in the market. So after the pattern come to the market, so it is the product, the pattern, number one product for the off-roading for me, just because of insane power it has. So only one wheel in the market, the pattern, has such a power from the start, from the beginning, and nothing even close, in my opinion, now we have on the market regarding that criteria, So the BEGODE presented to us Extreme, and they said that we will use the free wheels to make one, and exactly you see now here BEGODE Extreme, but you need to understand that this is the main construction base from the BEGODE T4. They put the AX30 here motor and put the BEGODE Master batteries. So free wheels that just made this one new Extreme here. So anyway, they not design and engineered new product. They just take free wheels and made from the free wheels one new wheel. But sometimes when you are engineering in such way, the result are not exactly like you wanted. You have just because of the reason, if you want to have some result and you know what you want to have, you need to engineer the motor, the controller and so on, just engineer in that way you want to have a result. But if you just take the already made it products like the motor from the X30 and just put it somewhere in another dimension rim and so on, so it is not means that it will run like you want it to run. It will run like it should run by the engineering principles. So okay, I will talk about this a little bit later. So first of all, I want to talk about the design. So my main point, it is 40 kilograms wheel from the box. We have the same tire we have on the pattern. Good one Knobi tire, really good one tire for the such proposed wheel. Off-road riding and city riding, good protector here. Roundness design, so you can carving normally on the street and you can have a good performance on the off-road, on the trail rides, roads and so on. So nothing just additional to say. Just want to say that the BEGODE says that this is 18-inch wheel, but it's not 18-inch wheels. So whatever you call it, but it is a 12-inch wheel rim in the motorcycle dimension, but for the dimension unicycles it is 16-inch, but little bit bigger tire mounted here, and that's it. But anyway, so it is not exactly 18-inch wheel, but whatever. The pedals, foot plates, you see it, normal BEGODE usual foot plates. Only one I want to say it, but I cannot adjust the angle. I am adjusting the angle of the pedals. I run 5 kilometers and the pedals go down. So I need to unscrew it, all these pedals, and maybe all these screws on the red Loctite, I think, and screw it back and made the angle. Just I had no time for that, for some reason, because of I needed now to do fastly all these presentations, all these demo days and so on, and made the review also. So yeah, some additional time, and I was wasted so many time with this wheel already. So anyway, let's go about talking about the design. So the pads, the new one feature we have here, that finally BEGODE stopped using this China-made 3M fake two-side tape. and now we just screw the pads on the 4 screws, and you see many holes here on the battery pack, so you can adjust these pads by going up and down as you wish by your leg. Only one strange moment here, that they made this pad as one piece here, so idea is if you're adjusting it going down all this piece for your legs to take it in the air. And I really can say that from the bottom position you can take that wheel in such position quite comfortable to me to take it to jump. I see here not a big deal to use it like it is, but the top position of these pads are really bad. And this one moment and another moment, as I said, if you're adjusting in down, so you adjust all pads, so and the up position are also going down. So this is, in my opinion, you just need to cut it in the middle here and adjust separately, one this part and second one part, just adjust it independently. And anyway, by just to say that these pads top position are really very bad, and just this room between the front and the back are too big here, and when you are using these pads you cannot reach with your legs in the both sides, so not comfortable. And I really don't understand, so many years already, yes, so many, even in motion now are making the pads for the adventure like it should be, and they understand that pads should be comfortable, but BEGODE is still making with some type of a design to look great, on the picture, but nothing, about the ergonomics and nothing here. You just all understand what you buy this wheel and you throw out these pads immediately. So maybe better to do it like the Liperkim do it in the Sherman and in the pattern. They just don't put it in the box, and you have a little bit cheaper, maybe one product. When you just put this one and you take it out and just throw it out, because you need to understand, but even I couldn't normally test it with that pads, because this wheel is now, I was tested it not just normal city riding, pleasure riding, but I tested this wheel like the extreme one, riding in the extreme off-road condition, jumping, going up hills, down hills, and so on. So I need maximum here, maximum control, and I couldn't even do that, and this was moment very hard to compare to the pattern here. So yes, this, in my opinion, this moment is very important. But the pads are still just not worth any cent. Just you need to throw it, and that's it. So now you have a power on button and motor spill kin button in the downside of a controller. Here they made such design look more more like in the King song and so on. And also they put the charging port also here from the back side of a controller. And here we have an important moment, but now in the Extreme we have only one charging port, but they put here in the box, they put such a big charger, 134 volt, 5 amps, and you see how big this charger is, but this is for 5 amps, so this is a good solution, but keep it in mind that you have only one charging port. Regarding lights, so you can adjust lights a little bit, but overall lights are really bright, but they are also blinding the pedestrians they are going. So I was tested it, still blinding because it is go around all this beam. So still all like the same. So if you are going off-road, it is good. At night you see the road, but if you are using this wheel in public road, so you will blind the people, or you can adjust it but see nothing in the front of you. So still same solutions here. Regarding the handle, this you see CNC orange handle, and this handle have 3 main minuses, and I really don't understand why we made it. Sometimes I feel when I look sometimes at such solutions, I think that they don't ride unicycles. I don't know, because just keeping such an angle of a handle, first minus you have, you don't see this screen when you are riding. We are riding, you are going fast, you are lean forward, you're riding 50, 60, 40 kilometers per hour, and this handle makes not possible to see the digit, to see the speed, and you need to search it somewhere like that, and then going once more again. So if somebody just test that wheel before they build it, I don't know, and they clearly don't see what this handle make impossible to read the screen. I don't understand that. The second one bad moment is what this handle are too close to that position, and if you're riding seated, you can see the wheel are not so big, it is small. You sit here and the handle are here, so you put your hand between your legs and you're sitting like that. So operate with a wheel in the such conditions, like you're putting your hand between your legs, not comfortable. And everybody understands what you have the center of the wheel. So putting the handle more forward will not only be, just from the practical side more easier to take it, but also will be more better to manipulate, because you will have a bigger push moment, from the center one, so for you will be easy to lean it forward, backward, to brake and to accelerate when you're riding in the seated position. So, and the grab wheel for you will be better if your handle will be in such position here. But anyway, design part, but nothing about the real normal comfort performance here. And the third moment is what when this handle are installed, you cannot remove this top cover and get the fast access to your battery. So firstly, you need to remove these four screws from our side, remove the handle, and after unscrew it here from these two screws, and remove all this cover. And if you even unscrew it from these two sides, you will not remove, because it is blocked here, the cover here blocked. So three minuses you have, just because they think that this type of a design are more aggressive, but I don't know, really, I don't know here. Regarding the seat position, seat are not bad, you can ride it, but wheel are small, not for the big guys, but still quite comfortable, and you can live with such a seat from the box. Regarding the screen, now we have even more bigger screen, 3 digits from the top speed, but as I said, screen are big, but they use same technology. It is not so bright. It is bright at night, but in the daylight, in the sunlight, it is not so bright, and you don't see it normally. And with a combination with such handle, you have big screen but not readable when you need to use it. So anyway, that's the solution from the BEGODE. Regarding the handle same design, same height, regarding the T4 and so on, nothing changed here. So for the tall guy like me, my 1 meter 85 centimeters, it is on the border of comfort, but I would prefer to have additional maybe 3-5 centimeters of height of a handle, but still it is not so critically bad, but still no performance. Not performance, but not made for the tall, European guys here. But you can live with that handle. We have the rear lights, and here we have a new solution from the BEGODE, something new we made. So it is, and from our side it is light one, performing the light functions, and from another side it is Bluetooth speaker. Here we have speakers, and you can connect and use it like the Bluetooth speaker. The lights are, we have colors, various color schemes here, but one of them, just like you see, it is bright red when you're riding. It is start blinking red when you're stopping, and you can clearly see it is good. And finally, we had some type of a light, a good scene in daylights and good scene at night and so on. And when you're turning, so one part of this are going yellow, and you see it like the turn signal. So also really great, and people can see it clearly when you're going after that wheel. So here's something new, and after you can use it like the handle. You take from that side, you take from that side. You can take the wheels from both sides. So not bad here. As you can see, the wheels are staying now now on the stand. So this is the position for the stand, but the stand are really small, so it is very hard to use it in the off-road condition. To put it, it is going just on the one side or another side. You need to have, perfect surface to put it, so not so usable, like it is. And I think that's it. The mud bars same like always, nothing here. Also here is new, performing some function but not great as usual. And I think I want to now to speak about the main point: suspension. So we order the first batch with these wheels with air shock suspension, because the manufacturer says that this is the first batch we can fastly ship to us. If we want with spring suspension, we need to wait additional three weeks, but we just can put the springs as the parts for us to test it if we wish. So we agree. And we will come here with air suspension, so air shock you can see like this. And I have here something to tell you. You can see this is air shock for the BEGODE Extreme. You see this top positions part, it is quite wide. You see here the shock absorber from the AX30 and from the T4. You see like this air pump are going on the 45 degrees, and you see that they are not compatible. So the AX30 and T4 not compatible with Extreme. They just changed design here to make it stronger, as I understand. But we also have here the shock absorber from the Master, and they looking quite same here. Only one difference is this one part. It is to put the air. So this we have the parallel to the ground to the shock absorber, and this one we have with a 45 degrees angle. So just keep it in mind that we have variations of shock absorbers, and if you will order one, just keep it in mind that you cannot just put the master shock absorber on the EX30, for example, because you will not have the room to put the air here and so on. So anyway, I don't know why they're making that, such variations, not comfortable for all here, even for mainly for the dealers to keep all this stock, with such a parts. But anyway, okay, I put the air, and the important part I wanted to share that we will come with air suspension, and it was completely out of air, so the suspension was completely pushed inside. So when I start to inflate the air shock, I put 200 psi, and the shock absorbers still was not possible, to even after we put the 200 psi, we still was not able to push the suspension. So suspension was not going, normally from the factory. So this one moment I was right to be BEGODE says why we push 200 psi and still inflation not inflated, not stretch out the suspension. So BEGODE says just put the more 300, 350, and it will be, it will be extracted. So such a solutions, as always, as usual. So yes, I put the 300 and the suspension just detached and start working, but I feel that it is working not so great, and I feel when you push it down, in some position it is blocking somewhere. So from the box, from the factory, they don't even think to try, to adjust the suspension normally, and just put it in the box. So you take your wheel and you will be happy here. Anyway, but it was working, so I put the 300 in little bit more psi, tried to run with such an air shock. So I understand, I was tested before T4 and all these wheels, I know how badly it is working. So not possible to ride normally, and these shocks are not working wherever, just you can throw it out. Yeah, useless one moment. So and I returned it, and I installed such a new one, DNM shock absorber with a spring. And also we have here possibility to put the 900 lbs or 750 lbs spring. So I put I don't want to play with smaller one spring, so I put 900 lbs suspension. with such a shock. So, but main idea of that shock are working not bad, but we have also only the rebound adjusting possibility, and this is really bad. That you can just adjust only rebound, and compared to the Kingston S22 Pro with a normal shock absorber, when you can adjust in preload and not preload and compression damping and rebound. So here clearly I understand that for the extreme also you need to use such a shock absorber like we are using in the Kingston S22 Pro. So for me it is cheapest best way to have a good suspension with a good possibilities to ride. So anyway, I put this D&M shock absorber with a 900 lbs spring, and I also need to know that here you can see, sorry. So you can see we have here two holes like we adjust all the suspension. So upper position, if you put in the suspension in the upper position, you have a more softness suspension. It is running more soft here. If you put in the up position, it is more for the more aggressive off-road riding. So suspension working more harder. So I tested in the both position and tried to explain you and will share it with you. 40 kilos. 1 second, and we share with you my opinion. Firstly, I was using the up position for the smooth suspension. I was tested that. I was made presentation demo day in Lithuania with such position. So working compared to the air shock, working better, more smoothly, and you can adjust it better. You can feel the feedback from the suspension better. So overall, I can say, so compare this one to this one, so this one really working much better compared to this one. So anyway, but as I was tested more, and I understand that still, having no possibility to adjust the compression damping, making all the suspension working in some moments, but suspension working not properly, not good. And that moment was when I was riding downstairs in the forest, downstairs from the wood and from the made it from the ground, like the how to say it. Every stair looking like that, so you're going and you're flying, So the problem is that the suspension are rebound, are working not correctly even with such air shock. So if I will slow down the rebound, so the suspension will be packing, and I will not have that bouncing possibility working suspension. So it is will immediately when I just start to turn in the slow position, the suspension are slowing down, and I feel immediately reaction what the wheel don't want to go off-road. You just feel it like you're going without the suspension. If you're putting it in the fast position, that is fastly rebound, so sometimes it is rebounds too fast, and in that situation with that stairs, I feel it like the wheel just jumping in the air, and I can do nothing. So the suspension don't working, it is working too fast. But this only one situation when I feel the suspension are working not good. In all another situation when I was going forest roads and so on with separate some obstacles, the suspension was working normally here, and I feel like you can live with that. But I just try to compare pattern and the EX30. So for a fat pattern I don't have that problems at all. So here we understand what we cannot use that suspension for all riding purposes, but we have possibility to adjust it. For the pattern we don't have that possibility to adjust it. I mean, what you can adjust it for the hard off-road, and now in such position this wheel are more harder to bottom compared to even my 66 lbs pattern. So difference here are clearly what extreme I can use more extremely and can jump more extremely in the air and so on. So here we have some positive moments, some pluses here compared to the pattern. But overall as I said, we need a shock absorber at least like we're using in the King Song S22 Pro. And interesting moment, what King Song made that shock, put that shock absorber almost 2 years now ago in the King Song S22 Pro. Now we have adventure coming, coming to the market. And adventure in motion adventure also we have progressive spring and also have normal shock absorber, but BEGODE is still playing with this one not working normally products, and I still don't understand clearly that. Okay, so I try to explain the idea I wanted to say you. So idea is that after the presentation in Lithuania, I was going second day. Next day I was going to Latvia, to the Riga. In the Latvia it was rainy day, so people are riding in the rain. So in the rain we will get mud, a lot of water, a lot of mud. So the suspension stopped to work at all. So it is blocked and almost don't work. We needed to push it very hard to use 1 centimeter of a suspension, but it always was blocked. So from such moment, it really was bad, but at the middle of a presentation we needed to stop that, use the testing that wheel, because suspension stopped working at all. And this is the solution, you and the product and the quality you get from the box. And this is really sad. So next day I go back to my office, and I needed to make full from the zero reassembly that wheel. From the zero, I just remove all these battery packs, remove all this stuff, start to assembly, start reassembly all this wheel from the zero and so on. So I made this working, yes I made, but why the BEGODE from the factory cannot do that, to avoid for me, like for the customer, all this playing and so on. So really, just I see what they just keep doing same moments, same things, and just don't care about that. So I made that working normally, good working without any problems, and I put it in the upper position after that adjustment, and my final review was filming with this shock absorber, put it in the up position. So yes. Yeah, really now, even with my weight 100 kilos, very hard to bottom it, you can jump and don't care, but overall the wheel are, working hard, so suspension usually don't work, on the small bounce, like we're working in the Liperkim pattern, but for the extreme riding, for off-road riding, it is now good adjusted, and you can use that wheel in the full power and the full moment. So this is the main difference between the suspensions of a pattern and for the extreme. So from one side, if you just want to have wheel for the jumping in the air, 3-4 meters in the air and so on, so the extreme here will be performed better, better moment. But if you need wheel for off-road riding, just off-road riding, so in my deep opinion, the pattern handles here better. And this is not only my opinion, the riders who tested in Lithuania and tested in Latvia say same, same here, but extreme not bad, but compared to the pattern going much more smoother suspension here, and overall everybody likes more pattern suspension here. So as I said, only in one moment you can use it in the better way if you want to have a crazy jump. So yes, then better to have this one. Okay, and the final part regarding how this wheel are riding. So when we saw the pattern come to the market, this insane power, so pattern become the #1 powerful product, and really here the BEGODE don't have such a product, don't have to compare, and it is what not only BEGODE but also King Song and InMotion also don't have such a product. So anyway, the BEGODE was #1. Now BEGODE is not #1 here in power and performance. So they immediately started design the Extreme, and they said that the new one Extreme will be ultimate one machine, fastest and so on, and most powerful as it is and so on. So and everybody waited for that moment to compare the pattern and the X30. So here X30, I mean X30 motor on the Extreme. So my idea is what BEGODE take, as I said, three wheels, you know, T4, EX30 and Master, and we made one wheel from the three wheels. So idea is what if you're just taking the motor from the somewhere, making this motor, you know, with a smaller one rim dimension, and just put it somewhere. So it does not mean that, you know, it will be, you know, it will have such a characteristic like you want it. It's just more like the experiment. So and here we have clearly that experiment, but the EX30 wheel was fast one wheel. Yes, it has had the good acceleration, but for such a big wheel from the start, and we also had the big top speed, and I don't know, 90 kilometers per hour, I think, yes, possible to ride, and I saw somebody was riding, I think, 90 kilometers per hour with such a wheel. So it is fast, 134 volts, fast, speedily wheel for the big distance, for the fast ride, and so on. So if you just take that motor from there and put it, you know, in 1 hour dimension, so this wheel will not, you know, be ultimate, you know, off-road machine at that moment, just because the dimensions are smaller. It still will have such a performance of a fast wheel, and exactly we have in the extreme same situation. So as I was thinking, but this one has no, you know, torque from the no such a torque like compared to the pattern from the start, but it is accelerate better from the 30 till 60 kilometers per hour, and it is more easier to operate in the city and ride with such a wheel. So I just feel like it is, you know, going. I just feel that, and I even made the test. You know, you can see that test what I made. What you see what the pattern here when you know push that wheel with extremely, you just push the wall and you see what pattern just, you know, going on the spin wheel on the asphalt, and we compare extreme, you know, just going deeply, and you push it and you immediately have the dipping of the pedals and so on. So that's really, and shows what this wheel are not comparable to the pattern from the starting, you know, power as it is. So for me, for example, when I first start riding with a pattern, I understand what this wheel is just making, you know, for the off-road riding, for the off-road climbing, and you can jump and you understand what the power the wheel have on the low speed. It provides you, you know, the safety, you know, and this was really, for me, was first wheel that I was able with no problem running, you know, upstairs and so on. I tried to ride the upstairs with extreme 5 stairs, and that's it. Because when I push it, the wheel start bouncing and start dipping, and I feel like the motor not working. There is crazy noise coming from the motor, and it is pedal dipping, and I understand what I will push a little bit more, and the wheel just, you know, shut down. So I am not able with my weight to go, you know, upstairs and so on. So this is also another, you know, another moment and another problem. What they made the good one city riding wheel, but not good one, you know, off-road wheel. And this specification are really good for a fast city riding. You just put here the street tire, and you will have put the good pads, and you have quite good city riding, you know, fast wheel with a good one. Not best, but good one performance of a suspension, and you will put it in the low position to work, you know, more normally, and the wheel will be good enough, you know, to go fast in using that wheel in such condition. But for the off-road riding, I understand what I need more. So main question to answer: did the BEGODE made the better wheel here, more powerful compared to the pattern? So clear answer here is no. So I think this motor C30 need to be, you know, rewired to the HT motor to get more power from the zero. And I don't think I saw that the maximum speed of that wheel is 81 kilometers per hour, and somebody even crashed it on that wheel on such speed. So the normal speed is still 80, and as I understand, but you need to understand it is 16-inch wheel, so you don't need such a big speed for that. So the purposes for the wheels need to be a little bit different here. So purpose for the Extreme should be running, city ride or running off-road if I wish, need to rewire it, and better to make the top speed till 60, but make it really aggressively from the 0, and I think we will be more than enough, to jump and to use it in such conditions. So here I clearly understand what BEGODE just wanted to make off-road wheel, but made usually fast wheel, and now everybody understands that what this is not exactly what this wheel was building for. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today, I don't know, I feel not good, so I feel like I need to end review right now. So anyway, so main idea, I think you understand, sorry, so I took so long to explain that, but now we will waiting for the adventure. Just in motion also want to make the quite samely built wheel with the same principle for working suspension with a Raptor controller, and I think we will using even the motor from the V13, so also will be big wheel, 126 volt. I think we will also use 2200 watt-hour battery because of the technology. You cannot just put every watt-hours what you want. You need to put it in the parallel. So 2200 like in the pattern, I think will be fair enough to see in the adventure. So we will test the adventure, I think, in the end of September, beginning of October, and also we will waiting for the S16 here King Song to test, but with small wheel, not direct, competitor here to this one big fast wheels. But anyway, cheap one wheel, we'll test it also. So guys, thank you for watching. Denis Hagov here, the review of Extreme. See you guys soon with adventure.